On this exciting mini episode, it's Arlene Sunbather Dowling versus Carol Trust Fund Stanley. Who you got? It's a special audio edition of my Perry Mason Season 1 Defendants tournament. Now, on the Perry Pod. Welcome, everyone. I'm your humble host, Jonathan Searcy. Before we move on to Season 4 of Perry Mason, I thought I'd finish out our Season 1 Defendants tournament. The setup, I'd put all 40 of Season 1's defendants into a bracket. They're facing off against each other for the crown of Season 1 champion. My criteria, pretty simple. 1, was the defendant memorable? 2, was the defendant the most compelling guest star in the case? 3, did Perry respect the defendant? And number 4, do we have any other history with this actor or actress who portrayed the defendant? You'll see how it works soon enough. I'm not ranking the episodes. My fave Season 1 episode, The Case of the Screaming Woman, but it only has a so-so defendant, Leona Walsh. I don't really care for The Case of the Fiery Fingers, but Nora Mae Quincy made it into the second round. In this mini episode, Arlene Dowling has become an informal PI dedicated to finding the person who framed her father for robbery. Will she get framed before she can free him? Carol Stanley, well, she's got a new boyfriend with a temper and enough money, good looks, and a mysterious background to draw the eye of embezzling sleaze bags like Albert Tidings and Richard Ellis. She's the baited hook, right? Let's see who comes out on top. Category 1, was the defendant memorable? Arlene Dowling has an entire opening sequence without words where she's sunbathing and manages to lose her trailer. Perry eventually ends up on the witness stand, asked to justify his actions on her behalf, and then just narrowly escapes being convicted himself. Yes, Dowling's a keeper. As for Carol Stanley, I feel like we're in the same position in this case as Perry. Perry doesn't know who Carol is at first, then doesn't actually have to defend Carol in court. She's the murder suspect just long enough for Perry to use that fact to get the real murderer to confess. Advantage, Arlene. And it doesn't have to do with her sunbathing.
My name is Arlene Dowling. I don't know how much your secretary told you.
Just the bare facts.
Category 2, was the defendant the most compelling non-permanent character in the case? There's some great characters in the Sunbather's Diary. We got George Ballard, perhaps one of the series' most likable murder victims. Genuinely sad to see him go down.
Would you like to have a little, yeah? Love to.
Peter Sackett, just a classic louse. Leering at Della, yuck. There's pool shooting Bill Emery, our murderer. And hey, Mr. Donna Reed checks in as Dr. Ralph Chandler. Still, Arlene is our winner. As for the case of the baited hook, is this even a question? The most memorable character is the murderer, Abigail Leeds. Old Abby.
I have a voice like a foghorn, and when I'm mad, I don't whisper.
Great stuff. Carol barely says a word in this episode, and I wouldn't wonder she can't get a word in edgewise around Abby. Advantage, Arlene by a country mile. Number 3, does Perry respect the defendant? Perry has an adversarial relationship with Arlene.
You realize, of course, you're ignoring my advice.
Yes.
In which case, I must conclude you have no further use for my services.
Oddly enough, I've come to the same conclusion.
Carol, it's tough to say. Perry really respects Abby. Carol's only included in that by default. And when Perry first gets introduced to Carol, it's with Robert Dawson. And from then on, it's with Abby. Perry never directly interacts with her. Advantage, push. Neither inspire. Perry here. Category 4. Do we have a prior history with the actor or actress? Susan Morrow? Only in one Perry episode. Same for Judith Braun. Advantage, push. Final verdict, Arlene wins this one going away. Congrats, Arlene. Your prize is a victory celebration with your father, marriage to Dr. Stone, and a backyard to sunbathe in without risk of a house trailer getting ganked. May you have all the clothes on hand you'll ever need. As for the rest of you, may you keep on walking that Park Avenue beat!